What's up, y'all? I know it's been a while since the last video dropped, but hey, your boy's been busy. Ladies and gentlemen, today I present you part 3 of the Pro Wrestling Iceberg, brought to you by Florida Boy 91 over there on Reddit. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I plan on doing way more videos other than icebergs in the future because y'all been showing so much love. I want to get back and create more content. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Bob Holly was invited to Chris Benoit's house. Bob Holly in his book says that he was invited to Chris Benoit's house on the day he murdered his wife. Benoit was upset that Holly didn't show up, and 5 hours later the Benoit incident occurred. What would have changed if Holly showed up? Chris Jericho Kentucky videotape. This is in reference to a tape Jericho received early in his career from a strange fan in Kentucky. The fan said that Jericho was her favorite wrestler, but when Jericho put the tape in, it was a video of her and her weird-ass hillbilly family telling Jericho how much they love him. I thought this was referencing to that one video where Jericho was in the back seat recording Jim Cornette cussing out a Wendy's drive-thru employee.
We ordered the damn shit because we're hungry, not because we wanted to fuck around, so don't cuss me, you fucking ugly bitch.
John Cena turned heel. ECW One Night Stand 2006 was a very different show than what WWE normally puts on. It was a tribute to the old school 90s ECW brand that everyone grew up watching. The crowd was hostile and was showing love to the ECW originals and shitting on anything the WWE guys did. The main event was RVD versus John Cena. The crowd was behind RVD 100% because Cena was the manifestation of what the crowd hated about the WWE. This was where the infamous "If Cena wins, we riot" sign came from. Cena came out to a loud sea of boos and hate, walking head down to the ring. Cena wasn't supposed to be a heel at the time, but the hate from the crowd forced Cena to work a heel. WrestleMania 36 alternate endings. In an effort to stop spoilers from happening, they filmed multiple endings from the Performance Center. That's lame. Jeff Hardy in Here Comes the Pain. Jeff Hardy was supposed to be in Here Comes the Pain before he left the company. There's character data for him in the game, but the best thing for you to do is create him and create a wrestler. WWF Radio was a radio show that originally featured JR and Johnny Polo, which was supposed to be a syndicated talk show with wrestler interviews and also a shoot backstage look behind the scenes of the WWF, and even talking about other companies. Of course it didn't last due to radio stations not picking up the show. Iron Sheik was offered $100,000 to break Hulk Hogan's leg. Hogan left Vern Gagne and the American Wrestling Association for the WWF because Vince McMahon promised he would win the world title. Apparently Vern proposed to give Sheik $100,000 to break Hogan's leg for revenge for leaving the AWA. Now, if you ask me, that's some petty ass shit. Curt Hennig. Lots of Mandela effect action going on here, as most wrestling fans remember commentators calling Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig instead of Hennig. His last name is pronounced Hennig. To be honest, that's the only person I've ever heard named Hennig. It sounds like a craft beer low-key. Shawn Michaels pissing in 3 girls' mouths. What the fuck? There's a wrestling urban legend that HBK took 3 girls back to his hotel room and, well, pissed in their mouths. Of course, this isn't confirmed, but 90s Shawn was a wild dude. The Alex Riley John Cena incident. According to Alex Riley, John Cena made it difficult for him to move forward in WWE. Back in 2012, Cena played a rib or pranked Riley, who didn't react kindly to it, which is a big no-no backstage. Alex boiled it down to the two just not liking each other. The Girls Gone Wild crossover. In 2003, WWE tried to do a crossover with the popular Girls Gone Wild series. Oops! The Big Show moonsault. According to Big Show on Chris Jericho's podcast, in his early days in the business, he could perform a moonsault. He got a call from Hulk Hogan saying he could legit kill some cruiserweights if he fucked it up, so he retired the move. New Jack tries to kill Vic Grimes. In a previous match, Vic Grimes botched a table spot, leaving New Jack partially blind in one eye. So in the rematch, New Jack threw Vic Grimes off a scaffold with the intention to kill him, because New Jack is one crazy bastard. What happened to Hirohito? Kenzo Suzuki was originally supposed to debut as Hirohito, referencing the Japanese emperor of the same name, a Japanese wrestler vowing for revenge against the US bombing Japan in World War II. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? The promo package shows the literal bombings that took place with the name Hirohito splattered in blood. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the gimmick was scrapped. Daniel Bryan time traveler. Doesn't this guy look like Daniel Bryan? A little bit? Anyways. Steve Austin thought wrestling was real. Stone Cold Steve Austin was only taught rest holds and chain wrestling in training. Chain wrestling is a technique in pro wrestling to help start the flow and fluidity of the match because of its realistic movements and grappling. Austin finally found out wrestling was real a few moments before his first match when somebody told him what the finish was going to be. Goldust was behind GTV. In early 1999, a series of hidden camera videos began airing on WWF TV. The videos would be of wrestlers doing dumb shit without anybody knowing. This was also used to further storylines. According to WWF writer Ed Ferrara, Goldust was supposed to be behind GTV, but the USA Network didn't like the Goldust gimmick and the idea was scrapped. WWF In Your House 8, Beware of Dog. During Savio Vega's entrance in the match with Stone Cold Steve Austin, the power in the arena blew out due to a huge storm. Vince McMahon told fans at home that there would be rematches of In Your House on Tuesday as the matches went on in front of a live crowd in a dimly lit arena, while fans at home were pissed. CM Punk's untold story about McMahon. In part 1 of this series, I talked about the CM Punk pipe bomb, where CM Punk cut a work-shoot promo on how he felt about the current product. He was told he would be cut off if they felt that he was going too far. Before CM Punk could talk about the Be a Star anti-bullying campaign the company was pushing, he was cut off. Perhaps Punk was going to mention all the times Vince McMahon has bullied his employee over the years, as he is, in fact, a piece of shit. The ECW Fire Incident. After a match with Tommy Dreamer, manager Bill Alfonso gave Foley a chair wrapped in a towel, which Foley set on fire. Foley swung the chair, but what ended up happening is the towel that was set on fire landed on Funk, setting him on fire. ECW officials ran out with the fire extinguishers, which made the crowd panic, with one fan even claiming he caught on fire as well, trying to put out the flame. Paul Heyman was furious and sought to destroy every piece of footage of the event he could. William Regal fired for exposing Goldberg. In the middle of Goldberg's legendary undefeated streak, William Regal gave Goldberg a way more competitive match than what was planned. Wrapping him up in holds, palm striking him to stretch the match out. Keep in mind, at the time Goldberg's matches were ending in 2 minutes, if that. I still remember. On an episode of Raw, Booker T found a mysterious letter in the locker room that said, "I still remember." The angle was dropped the next week and was never resolved, which is okay because I don't think anybody remembered this story anyways.
Alright guys, that's it for part 3. Make sure y'all like this video to make sure this shit gets seen. I'll be making more content in the future other than Icebergs as stated before. And you can follow me on Instagram at YoungSuplex to stay updated with what I'm doing. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below. And if you don't, that means you suck and your mama blows.